everybody, and welcome to the Big Brother 17 After Show here on theStream.tv. I am Kevin Zelman, as always, joined by my co-hosts Jen Johnson, Ashley Iocco, and Ryan Hooks.
Hey.
And we have a very special guest with us,
Woo-woo.
Big Brother 17 house guest Jason. How are you doing?
Good, I'm good.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of course. Should we get right into it? Because we have you here to tell us all the inside info.
Of course.
Get the gossip.
I know, right? So.
Where's the tea?
Yes, right. So, all right, so let's start it off. The week started with my favorite house guest so far. Vanessa was HOH, which I was excited about. I know you probably weren't that excited, Jen.
No, I looked. I picked her to win.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm totally blind.
We all picked her to win.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, clearly I need some memory help here, guys.
It's not that we don't like her. We just don't like the way she's acting the last few weeks. That's
No,
what
that
we're
is
coming down
She's
to
actually calmed down. I like her
her
this week.
getting
Sorry, go
emotional
on.
and crazy.
Yeah.
When you were in the house, what was Vanessa like with you?
She was hard to read. I mean, the first couple weeks, she was a bubbling, crying mess. And after I left, she sort of went back to that. For a little bit in there, I actually thought that I maybe had a sort of a working relationship with Vanessa. I helped her study for the HOH that she got me out with. I was like, girl, this is what the cop's gonna be. Let me give you all the answers. So that was even more where I was like, I'm so dumb. But she's very good. Like, you have to respect Vanessa's game because a lot of the other people's games are like, compared.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how it happened, it was her and Johnny Mac. They were left on their swing, should we call it, the standing swing that they had to be on, and it was the two of them left, so we knew that Johnny Mac was going to come back in the competition because he was the last juror member, the last juror member on the swing. So he told Vanessa, or Vanessa said, hey, let's make a deal. He said, no, I have my own things to take care of. Do we know or think, what do we think he was talking about there?
Who knows?
I don't know.
That's
I
a
mean,
very good question.
His own game. He just didn't want to play Vanessa's game
I
anymore.
mean, he kind of said that he didn't want the other house guests to know he was working with her. So maybe he was just trying to do a decoy.
I mean, it's kind of smart to come in and maybe not win that HOH, because if he had won that HOH, he would pretty much be out the week right after that. Everyone would say, okay, so
Yes.
we vote you out, you come back in, then you have power for a week. That's where it's going to end. So it's good that he kind of subdued himself for that week. And look at him now. Now he was up and during the double, and nobody even considered getting him out. So
Yeah.
I think it was smart for him to throw that. And it looked easy for him to win. It looked like all the other jurors were like, no, we're going to go have cocktails. They just like hopped off. Like,
Right?
We're
But
outta
did you
here.
guys hear anything about the DQ?
I was gonna ask
I
about
heard
that.
about it on
Yeah, 'cause
I
we
wanted
were
to know
talking
more
about it last
information
week.
about it, though.
Well, did you notice in the edit this week they were very specific? Like, we have to stand up the whole
Yes.
time. Like, they kept talking about the fact that they sat down, and that's why they were actually
Well, they
eliminated.
said
Yeah.
it that at least 1 foot has to be on
Right.
the pedestal at all times. So I guess some people just had their butts
Sitting
on
down,
it, and
right.
so I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't show it, but we know that Johnny Mac's back in. I think we're all excited about that. Was that?
oh, I'm excited
Okay,
about
good.
I mean, I really wanted Jackie to come back in. 'Cause
course.
she's like my little goblin baby. But anyone other than that, I would love Johnny Mac.
Okay, fair enough. So Vanessa being HOH, she was so worried about getting blood on her hands that she was not going to make a big move. Which I, as a Big Brother super fan, I'm sure you too, Jason, a big move needs to happen at some point.
Yes.
It has to.
Well,
Am I
Too
right?
late now.
yeah.
I mean, it's way late
It's
in the
too
game.
late. It should have happened this week.
She,
Should have happened at double eviction.
They should have got Julia out before double eviction.
Yeah.
They should've.
That would have been the move to make, and now it's too late because Steve wussed out, and Johnny Mac went with the flow, and now they're done. They sealed their game.
It's very disappointing because I had, as much as I didn't get along with him that much in the house, I had high hopes for Steve. I thought he was really going to be like an Ian.
Yeah.
And he has just really tanked and really showed us that he's not an Ian whatsoever.
And he even said this week, right before the eviction, he's like, I can hear my mom screaming at me, vote
Yeah.
out Julia, vote out
Yeah.
Julia. And I was at home screaming, vote out Julia,
Yeah,
you
right?
idiot.
You know what that is? Your inner voice. Listen to it.
Yup.
He did
Listen,
not.
it's your gut. It's
Your
what's telling you.
intuition,
So,
yep.
she nominated. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes here.
I'm skipping ahead, I'm sorry.
I know. So
Getting
it was
crazy.
It was the Power of Veto first. That's what I'm forgetting about. So the competition, it was Vanessa, Meg, James, Liz, Austin, and Julia. And as Vanessa says, it ended up coming down to the best case scenario and worst case scenario because it came between Austin and James. And James ended up winning the Power of Veto and taking himself off the block.
But that was the craziest power veto. Like, did you guys? I mean,
I love that James.
Am I the only house before that? Like, I think my house is the house that had that power veto
Because
before.
I don't really remember that much.
No,
Yeah,
that,
they
I
had
think
it
it
somewhat-
was my season. Was the only season they've ever had it, and it was a nightmare.
Oh,
I
the
mean,
house was
like
trash.
And ours was the very first POV. Could you imagine 16 house guests all moving in, and then it was like trash like for a week. Like it was terrible. I couldn't imagine.
Because I remember,
and they were terrible hiders.
It reminded me, maybe it was last season or the season before, they had, I think it was POV with like the colorful balls in the house or something.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking?
Oh, I think it was my season.
Was it
they
your
had
season?
balls, colorful balls, and they had to go. There was a
Yeah.
ball pit everywhere, and they had to go and find the balls. And Ian won that one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about.
I just kept thinking about last season when they were hiding the boot under the trash. And they were like stealing stuff and convincing people that there was a thief in the house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
there
what I
was
kept thinking
something
about.
with the trash.
Well, no, it was last season. They
Or was
were
that
like
Team America's challenge?
Yeah.
Team America
Okay.
challenge. They were trying to convince someone that somebody was stealing stuff, and they hid someone's boot under the trash, like in the trash can.
Oh,
The
yeah, that
storage
was
room
so
would
cool.
be a
The
good
pink
spot. If
hat
they open
ate.
that during the veto comp, the storage room would be a
Well,
good spot.
They
for that.
block a lot of
Yeah.
places.
I
I know
think-
that Danielle for my season one, and she had hit it in the slop. Like in a
Oh,
big
yeah,
pot
she
of
dug it
slop.
in, yep.
She dug it in, she cleaned off the spoon, and that's how she won.
Genius.
Yeah, that was good. I wasn't even in it. You know.
So,
Genius.
Since James won the POV, Vanessa put up Julia. At first, she said, like, you're going up as a pawn. Julia was not having it because anyone who went up against Meg has gone home. So Julia did not like that idea, but it ended up happening that Julia was the one to be put up. And I still do not understand, maybe you could help me on this one, why they didn't evict Julia.
Because they're all cowards. Davon said
Yeah.
it week 2. These people are all
They really
cowards.
are.
We look like a steroided up cast this year. I was like, oh, they found like hardcore people. But when it comes down to it, a lot of them are afraid to pull the trigger. And it's so funny to see how intimidated they are by Meg because Meg can barely walk. Like, I love her to
Grandma
death,
Meg.
but she can barely walk. So, like, going to the end with Meg would have been ultimate best case scenario for any of those people.
I
left
thought
in
it was
the
going to be
house.
like a Victoria situation from last
Exactly.
season.
Oh,
She
she
just-
makes Victoria look very competent. Sorry, Meg.
It's true. I mean, it's
Oh,
true.
poor grandma.
Yeah.
Meg reminds me of myself on the show
Why?
because I couldn't win anything.
That's okay.
The
I thought
comps
I
are
was going to be good
difficult.
at tons of comps, and then I was like, I actually suck at all these. How did this happen?
Because they're built for men. These comps are huge, like fiberglass, like wooden. I don't know. I just think they're big comps.
But you know, I thought Austin was going to be really big and good because he's so massive. But like the POV and the dice, he couldn't even fit in the dice. His head was like popping out of it. So they're just not built for someone that size either.
Yeah.
So Vanessa, she made a deal with Johnny Mac and Steve. I might have missed it because you doing okay?
Yeah, I got
Want
a
some
little,
of my-
little worked
Hint
up.
Have some of my hint water.
May I?
There you go. So because maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention. I don't remember this deal really happening that much. They keep talking about it. So what was the deal?
That they're the
That
Johnny
because-
Mac or with
They're
Steve?
deal
They were
three.
separate.
They're
Oh,
deal
they
three.
w-
No,
okay.
they're deal three.
Yeah.
Oh,
Together.
deal
well,
three.
All
she's
three of
got
them. She
a
has them
deal
both
with
separate,
like
yeah, and
separate
separate.
plus together.
Yeah.
Plus she's got the Scaper Squad with Johnny Mac.
Yeah, yep.
Or I'm sorry, with Steve
and the
and
twins.
the twins and Austin. So there's like a deal with a deal with a deal and a deal, and then another deal with everybody. So
That's Vanessa's game. She's had 400 deals the whole time. I mean,
And she
for me
remembers
to
them all,
get
too.
her to use that veto on me, I gave her everything, including 4 cigarettes. Like, she bought cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah, so, like, it was quite interesting. She is all about the deals. If she can somehow work it in that you owe her something in a deal, that's exactly what she does. And clearly it's working.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vanessa is a genius.
Yes.
Like, I'm not like she
Yeah.
is
she has a law
certified
degree,
genius.
and like she's got a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
During the episode, they were trying to flip the house and trying to get Julia out, which I was super excited for, and I thought maybe it
Stop
could
reminding me.
happen. It didn't happen. Meg was evicted up against Julia, so now Julia's still in the house. But it was a double eviction. But first, before we get to that, we all agree Meg should have gone home, or
Yes. No,
No,
no.
Meg
sorry,
should have
Or Julia should have
stayed.
gone home. I'm
Julia
sorry.
should have gone home.
Absolutely.
Meg should have
Julia.
stayed,
Julia.
but I get where they're at in the house because we really were like an old BB season where it was like this side versus that side.
Yeah.
There wasn't that many people that was really running in between. We got the Audreys and the Jeff and the people that were running in between out pretty early. So
Except
I think it
Vanessa.
was clear for a lot of those
Yeah.
people, why not get Meg out? We've never really worked with Meg. We've only had a fake running relationship with her for 2 or 3 weeks now. I think she was always going to be a target for them, but it's just like, what are you guys thinking? These girls were in the same womb with each other. And we're just like, oh, no, that's okay. Let them hang out.
Yeah.
Well, we've had, I mean, you guys know that when you guys watch, we've had numerous guests on here, and every time, like, the first question we ask them, why haven't the twins been targeted earlier?
I
mean,
wish there
Clay
was a
and
good
Shelley were
answer.
targeted.
Not
they're
even
gone.
in that. They shouldn't even have become twins.
Exactly.
I mean, we really
that
were
was
rooting
my
for
goal.
them to,
Yeah.
like, to
And well,
go
at that
in.
point, and I get it. Like the BB fan in me, or like the feeder,
Yeah.
wanted them to come in. Like that.
Yeah.
I love Big Brother 5. That is my favorite season. So to see like that twist come back, I was like ecstatic. But as a player, you're like, wait, hold on. Now we're competing with both of these girls. If you get them out now, we all might have another chance to come back because there's going to be an extra week somewhere in there. But I just think that they just were able to skate through because of that Sixth Sense little group. Because I was really pushing the let's get them out, but I was pushing it to people they were working with. So it was like it didn't matter how many times I told Shelley and Clay that it was good to get them out.
Right.
Of course. It's not going to matter. They were in an alliance.
Exactly. So it was all, I think they were set up good. I thought, like Big Brother 5, they would never tell anyone they were twins. I thought it was like against the rules that would ever come out. So I never even thought that they would like use it to their benefit and the house would weaponize the twins. But that's exactly what they did.
To be honest, because I remember the show when they came into the house, Liz and Julia, and we didn't even talk about it because it was so anticlimactic.
It really was.
Well, pretty much
Yeah.
that whole week, Liz had already busted it open. She had already said, okay, everybody knows, that's fine. I was like, yeah, I know you're 10 pounds heavier than your sister. And like, we went all over it. So I think the house was very anticlimactic about it too, because we're like, yeah, we know. We've known her name for like a week and a half now. And the rest of the, I mean, the Sixth Sense knew it from like week 2 on.
Except James, he was like, so excited and like flabbergasted by the fact that there was another one.
Did you go into the house thinking about all the other twists from the past seasons and
I
have them
did.
stored in there to think if anything could happen?
I did, and that probably was like part of my downfall too, because I thought there was like 400 twists this season. I was like, there's twins, there's an America's player, there's a saboteur. Like I was on
takeover.
everything.
We thought that too.
The takeover.
Yeah.
So I was definitely, my BB knowledge almost went against me because I was overthinking. I was thinking that it was like, let's throw every Big Brother classic twist in and see how it goes. Especially with the hinky votes, we kept being like, there's got to be an America's player.
Yeah.
I said I would swallow my tongue if Steve wasn't America's player, so I guess I'm supposed to swallow my tongue.
Oh, no, don't do that. Well, in season 5, were they identical twins? I don't know.
They were identical twins. They were 2 girls, Adria and Natalie, and they switched in and out. They weren't that identical. One had a mole, one had a scar, so they like used their hair to hide it. And that's when me and Davon started looking at Liz and we said, whenever they switch, she wears these hats and these sunglasses around. I've never seen a girl who's got so many hats in my life. And we were like, why does she have so many hats? And it was because they were trying to hide their face. Because clearly, now that you see them in the house,
Yeah,
they
so
do look different.
Yeah.
Like, they're not that identical.
Right. So I want to remind everyone that before we talk about the double eviction, to go on Twitter, comment below on the YouTube, use hashtag BB17AS on Twitter for any comments, opinions, questions. We're going to be looking, and Jason is going to answer some of them at the end of the show in our Twitter question segment. So let's get to the double eviction, the second one of the season, which I was so excited for, which ended up not being that exciting, unfortunately.
I know. I feel
So
like they need to put
terrible.
some music in there or
As soon-
something.
As soon as
Some
I,
sound
It was just a big move.
as soon as the Meg got voted out and Julie left, I was like, I'm done watching this episode. It's gonna suck. I can tell you exactly what's gonna happen. I was like, Johnny Mac and James are going up. James is going out. Like I sat there
Yeah.
and predicted it as it happened because it's just.
I feel like
You
Big
should be
Brother
a
with their
producer.
I should
random
be a
draw tried
producer.
to
Hire me.
help James because he went last, but it didn't even work.
Well, okay, so let's back up. HOH, it came down to Julia and Liz, so we knew right there,
Yeah.
great. So it's going to be basically like the last 4 weeks of the show. Nothing new. Liz became the HOH, which, tell me what you guys think, being in the game, because personally, as a super fan, I think if you're HOH too many times, you're going to become a very big target in the house. This is what Liz's 3rd time being HOH. Is this going to be add a bigger target on her back now?
I think Liz
don't
is
think
the
it
biggest
matters.
target in the house.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a twin. She's in a showmance, and she's already won
she's
like a
winning,
bunch
yeah.
of competitions. Like, what bigger of a target can you be?
Right. But
There's
the whole
no
house
more.
is just
There's no
jaded.
bigger.
And we're down at this point where it's really about winning. It's not about the numbers or the strategy anymore. You just have to win these
Yep.
comps. And if it's a lot of the questions, what day was this, what day was that, and if she knows that stuff, Liz is gonna fly through.
Do you
Yeah.
think she should have thrown this HOH competition?
No.
No.
Oh, you mean to Julia?
Once she realized she was with her sister, probably,
That's
because
what
her
I'm
sister
saying.
is never gonna win one of them true falses.
Right, and I thought she actually was.
okay.
What were you thinking?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, because I actually thought she was gonna throw it to her sister because obviously she would know she's safe, so might as well not have the bigger target on her back. And I personally thought she's a smarter player than that.
I personally think that, because I remember her talking to Julia and being like, you need your head in the game, like, so maybe she was just scared that like Julia would like do her own thing and like not like do what she wanted. Like, obviously she's safe, but like, you know, who knows what Julia, maybe Julia would be pissed off and put up Austin. I don't know, I mean, she probably wouldn't, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, Julia's kind of a loose cannon in Liz's head, I think.
Could be. Could be.
Good point.
So
That'd be awesome.
I'm
putting up your man.
I want a backdoor
Julia
Julia
won, and she
situation.
put Liz and Austin up on the block.
I
that
want
would be
that.
like, it would make it all worthwhile. Like this past week that sucked would have been awesome if Julia would have won and done that.
I totally agree.
Then she
So,
could win.
so Liz nominated James and Johnny Mac, which that's not a surprise to anyone. I thought, right? And so everyone but Vanessa played in the POV, and that's how you know summer's coming to an end, guys. When there's not.
Yes.
Next week it's everybody.
No, that's sad. That's sad.
I got
Julie,
3 more weeks. Sorry.
I know. Isn't
was
that
kinda
crazy?
shocked about
We only have 3 more weeks together, guys.
Oh, and I missed one.
I know. Yeah. Jen's not going to be here next week. So Julia won the POV, which congratulations to her. She's actually playing the game,
Yay. She
actually
can
won
roll a
something.
ball.
which that was a hard competition.
Yeah, it was hard too.
They should have
And-
got a little practice.
Well, they did
They
get
did.
practice.
Yeah, the
Oh.
night before.
Oh, well then that's their own fault.
And well,
But even with that, like the Gronk ball we did a practice, I was good at the practice. The minute they put me up there, I'm like, "Brr, tank. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't because it's live too, and
Exactly.
it's just nerves.
well, what I wanted to know, like, was that horseshoe or boomerang, whatever it was it like slanted or because?
Yeah, it was like
think so,
it was
yeah.
arcs.
uphill.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you rolled it slow enough, the ball would gravitate back to the numbers.
Okay.
Everyone was just rolling it too hard, so they rolled through the curve, and then it fell off the back, or not hard enough, and it fell
See,
off the
that'd be
side.
my issue in this game. Like, I don't understand that stuff. You know, I'd be like, oh, just throw it and see what happens.
well,
you
that-
know?
Get it
that's-
once you were there and you saw
it's
the.
true.
Yeah.
That's how they make it
probably have better
fair,
luck
though, for
describing it.
the women
Yeah.
versus the men, because
Yeah.
it's a competition that's not really about any sort of like strength. It's just you have to be smart enough to roll the ball, light enough to get it on the curve.
Yeah.
You know.
So Julia won the POV, which, as I just said, so once again, the nominations weren't going to change. It's been the same game for the past like 3 or 4 weeks now. Not that exciting. James was evicted. We all saw that coming. Yeah?
I actually was like, I thought
I
maybe
did.
that they were going to vote out Johnny Mac.
Really? Why?
Well, because I knew that Liz and I knew the twins, like, they kind of wanted Johnny Mac out the week before. So why didn't they want him out this
But
week?
they want James out more.
Yeah.
And
Vanessa
Vanessa.
let them know that they want James out more. James is a bigger target than Johnny Mac. Vanessa let everyone know.
Exactly. Vanessa's very good at
Just
just.
let everyone know that.
Jason, in the house, because America, like I see in all the polls, they love Johnny Mac. Is he
Yes.
that likable in the house, or is it the way they edit things?
No, he is that likable in the house. I didn't really have that much of an ongoing game with Johnny Mac, but like he is the comedic relief in there. Everything he says to Julie and how he acts is exactly how he acts if you sit down on the porch with him and talk to him at 3 in the afternoon.
I can't help but smile and laugh when I hear him talk or I
He's
hear
so
his laugh.
funny, but I'm also like, oh my god, how are you a dentist? Like, I don't think I could like sit there and have him like scrub
Well,
my teeth
were
and
you
talk
part
like
of
that.
the house that doubted he was a dentist?
I was. Me and Davon at first were like, there is no way this man is a dentist, until it was like the number 9 thing, and we were like, okay, he's a dentist.
Yeah.
We like quizzed him on dentistry stuff, and he used like big vocab words that we didn't know, and we were like, okay, you're probably a dentist.
Yeah.
Just because we don't know, then
We don't know them, they must be real.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to be right back with all of your Twitter questions. Remember, hashtag BB17AS and comment in the YouTube section below, and we'll read your comments on air. See you in a little bit.
Bye.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot! I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
That the more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy, it was hot, it was heated, I was into it.
You are gonna be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama, tell them don't ahead, turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for staying with us through that commercial break. So before we get to Twitter and YouTube, I actually have a question for Jason.
Okay.
Because we were just talking during the break, I'm a super fan, what's it like in the house and that type of stuff. I wanted to know, you're obviously a super fan. What was the thing you were most excited for when you got in the house?
Oh, I was just thrilled to be there. I literally thought that there was no way that I was ever going to get on the show at all. So just walking in, or like seeing Julie Chen for the first time, I was like, this is not real life. Like in sequester before it, I was still like, this is not going to happen. They're going to tell me like a day before that I'm going home.
It's a trick.
Yeah, like, but it's just so excited to be in there. And then you just like take the moments where you're just like, wow, this is really like the streams I watch every year. Like, this is really these mirrors and windows. It was just surreal altogether. And like the ceiling, because you never see the ceiling on TV. So I was like,
What is the ceiling?
It's just a normal ceiling, but like you just never see it. So you're like, whoa, this is what the ceiling looks like? It's very cool.
I never thought about that because I think I normally just thought it was just like an open
like a big
situation.
Yeah, no, it's like a house.
Yeah, it's a house.
Cool. All right.
However, did you watch all your episodes? Like, have you
I
seen
have,
yourself?
and they're mortifying. I'm so like, it's so weird to
What's
see
like
myself.
the most mortifying scene?
Oh my God, like all of them. They're just so funny. It's so funny to see what you get boiled down to with editing that I'm just like, they just throw me in for like the one-liner or the quips or like the things that they put, like I was watching just the other day and I watched them all, but then when it came to like my eviction time, I was a little bit like, I don't know if I'm ready to watch these episodes. So yeah, I'm a little like sour about it still. Not really, but.
The mean things they're gonna say about you.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, these ones are gonna be depressing. Like, I don't want to cry watching myself cry on TV. But it's funny to see, like, even the Battle of the Block with the paint, they have me walking in and I'm like, I'm not wearing clothes to comps anymore. I'm just going naked to all of them. And I'm like, why did they air that? Like, it's just so funny to see what you're boiled down to.
Do you forget the cameras are rolling and the things you say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, by day 3, I was on that pole during that first HOH, spewing recklessness out my mouth. James was apologizing to his family at home, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm on the wrong season. He's already apologizing to his family because I'm like swearing and saying all this craziness. And then look at James. He was like the exact opposite of that.
Right.
My favorite thing was when you were like going over the twins' like characteristics.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
You're like, that one always wears a beanie. That
This one works out all the time.
This one walks around in the
bikini.
bikini.
never works out.
You know, and
eats
that
all
was
the
the
time.
entertainment in there because you're like, well, what is there to do? Well, let's see
Yeah.
what. Every time Liz got called to the diary room, I would like park it on the living room couch to be like, let's see which one it is. Thickums or Cruella. Like, it was
What did your family and friends say when you came back?
They all think it's so cool and exciting. They don't know the show at all. Like my mother was still like, wait, I can't call you. And I'm like, no, you can't call me. Like they didn't really understand the concept at all, but they know that like I love the show and that I'm obsessed with it. So they would just think it's all really cool. And like where I'm come from, people are not on TV ever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really, it's cool for everyone in my area.
Absolutely. Good.
Like, I went to high school with that kid.
Yeah, they're all like, what the hell? That kid that skips school every day is on TV? What the hell? Like,
It shows
Did
you
all your
try hard.
girls? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did all your girls have to sign release forms so you could
all
talk
of
about
my
them?
girls signed releases.
Yes.
And I was really surprised when they told me all my people that signed releases. And I said, did all these girls really sign them? But all my hookers are good. They were all like, oh, nope. They all signed. I love them all.
All right, so we're going to bring the show over to you guys, the fans. We're going to start with some YouTube comments
What
and
up?
questions. Ryan, what do we have?
Yeah, shout out to Macro, Albert, Mia, Jeff Cake. Hey, look, there's me. Dakota. Okay, so Jason, who was your biggest target when you were in the house, and who would be your target now if you were still in the house?
And who's asking the question?
Fabulous white boy.
Hey, fabulous white boy. My target pretty much the entire time I was in the house was Austin. Pretty much after the week Jace went, I was constantly pushing for Austin. But I think in the first couple weeks he looked weak, and nobody thought that was that good of a move. And now here we are, and he's still there. So maybe it would have been a good move. It could have changed the whole season, but he was always going to be a target of mine.
Got one more from Mia. So, Jason, now that you are out of the house and have had some time to go over everything that happened, do you think you could possibly have a relationship with someone like Vanessa or Steve outside of the house?
I am going to give everybody a real world chance, because we all went in there. I would have done them all dirty. I would have slit all their throats for the check, so you can't be mad that they do it to you.
No.
So I'm going to give everybody a real life chance, and we'll see how it goes. Austin might not get a real life chance, but I'll even give the twins a chance. It probably won't last very long. But everyone is going to get their opportunity.
There you go.
All right, Joe, what's happening on Twitter?
All right, we got Twitter. We got from Bob Abubi.
Bob Abubi.
Exclusive pic of the Austin and the twins in 15 years. Oh,
That's
bam.
awesome.
There it is. Oh.
It was up. It was up.
I know. It was made it bigger. Okay.
Don't.
I think
What?
it's funny.
I love
Okay.
it. No, here. Technical difficulties,
Oh,
guys. You can never
Jen.
rely on technology. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
Right?
From Billy Campello. When you wanted a girl to win this season, but you realized what options are left, and then...
Yeah, well, I mean, I would still be happy for Vanessa to win, but I'd like the statistics of BB to even up a little bit. The girls are good. I want more girls to win. There's too many boy winners. I said if I don't win this year, I wanted a girl to win. So if Vanessa wins, at least she's a girl.
You think she deserves to win too?
Oh, I think she deserves to win out of the people that are there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because they don't even know
She's
where
playing.
they are.
Because
Did you guys?
Go ahead.
Did you guys know in the house that she has so much money? So much money she doesn't even know what to do with?
She told us that she used to be a former poker player. She told us about her ex-husband or her
And now her
husband
lesbian
who
lover
passed
and-
away, and how they played poker together. So we knew that she had those skills, but we didn't know she had a yellow Lamborghini and a mansion and like chicks in a pool. So it's definitely, definitely interesting to come out and see that she's rolling in that much money.
Her dog is named Maverick.
I
Come
know.
on.
Yeah.
I asked Ashley and Jen this question a few weeks back. I want to know your opinion. If you were in jury and you had to go and vote for the winner, are you going to vote for it emotionally because you really did not like this person at all, or are you going to vote for the person who had the best strategic gameplay?
I hate bitter juries. So I would definitely vote for the person with the best gameplay, but that's also like depending, because like if Austin was in the final two, I would never vote for Austin. I couldn't stand him at all. He smells like a trash bag. So there is no way I would have ever voted for him, but anybody else, I'm voting on game basis.
Okay, good. What else is on Twitter?
All right, we got from previous winner Dan Giesling. I'm baffled how they didn't see this coming. They left two sisters in the house together. My dog would have known to vote them out.
Again, we say it every week. Literally, it's mind-boggling to why the twins were not targeted earlier.
It really is. And Austin is the last biggest physical threat in the house. When it comes down to it, especially in Final 3, he's going to win because they're going to be physical comps. Now that James is gone, he's the best.
Well, if there's any competitions where you have to move fast, because he proved in the HOH a few weeks ago when they were racing, he's going to win that. So
His legs are so long.
Yeah.
He's not even fast. He just steps farther.
And his
I was
arms are
surprised
longer.
he wasn't good at the slip and slide one, but he's got like a bad hip from wrestling. Maybe
His
he's
back-
afraid to hurt himself.
His back is
Yeah,
messed up.
that's a better comp for girls, actually.
Yeah.
Because of the weight and stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's about knowing or not knowing. I think everybody knows. I think they're also, as you're saying, they're afraid. They're all cowards, and they're afraid of what's going to happen if they make the move. Because they're afraid to get voted out.
Clearly, Steve has a sensitive stomach.
Serious issue.
Do we have more?
All right, we have
Poor
from
Steve.
63 Rev G. I can't wait for the twins to get kicked to the curb. Then maybe the whining will stop.
No, Vanessa's still going to cry when they go.
Well,
Are
You
the
always count on
twins
Vanessa
whining?
crying.
Yeah, they're a little whiny.
I think it's their voice.
It's
more.
their voice.
It's maybe more how they speak. It's that they draw out every word. So it sounds like they're whiny even if they're just like talking about doing laundry.
You know, I thought that Victoria was bad last year, but having two of them is even worse. Oh my God!
Well,
I
just
think it's a
weird
Miami thing.
that they think that they're that they think that like they're there to win. Like it's like they don't understand that other people are there to win too. It's like all like
They think I told
everything's
this-
about just them like winning, them winning.
I said to Jason before the
That's
show
who
started.
wins, though. You know what I mean?
They get offended when people aren't going to play the game they want to play.
Yeah.
They like, this is BB17. We were the twist. Like they think they're the star of
Yeah.
the shows, and the rest of us are just their supporting actors.
Yeah.
Do we have more Twitter questions? Was that all from the fans?
Okay. We got one from Swiftly Jake. This is exactly why they should have voted out Julia. Liz won HOH, Julia won veto. These twins are unstoppable. Yep. Now it's all just like he said, just competition.
It's comps
winning.
time.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Well, thank you once again for tuning in to theStream.tv's Big Brother 17 After Show. We are here every Friday at 11 a.m. Jason, thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Yes, awesome.
Thank you very much. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. And remember, hashtag BB17AS. See you then.
Bye. For more Big Brother After Show on theStream.tv, click that button and subscribe.